Welcome back, folks, to Dare Tell Darla. That's the new name of the channel here. If you're new to this channel, all I ask is that you email me in your truth. We're not looking for fictional writers, so the stories that you hear here are from people who are telling their truth the way they see it. Those things can be things such as the paranormal. You saw a ghost, you saw a UFO or UAP as they're often called now, or what is it, USO, the submerged ones, in other words, aliens, or cryptids like Bigfoot and Sasquatch, or I don't know, Loch Ness Monster, or those kind of things. If you've had a guardian angel help you, if you had a near-death experience or an out-of-body experience, if you were supposed to get in a car wreck and all of a sudden you weren't in a car wreck anymore, doppelganger stories, all of those, send them to me. Send me your stories. Don't worry about the way your punctuation or any of that. I don't care. I've been a teacher. It makes no difference. I'll fix it, okay? Just make sure you give me permission to use it and send it to mecalgal. That's MECALGAL @gmail.com, okay? And have you hit that subscribe button yet? In order to get these stories to keep going and going and going, I need those subscribers. Okay. My story begins in 1962. This is not my story. This is Judy's story. My story begins in 1962. I was only 13 years old, going from 8th grade into high school after summer break. My town has a river running next to it, and on summer vacation, we kids headed there to hang out, lay on the beach, or swim to the diving board to show off our moves. My best friend and I were at the concession stand hanging out. It smelled like hot dogs grilling, sun lotion, and wet sand. To me, it smelled like summer. We all have that summer scent, right? We all know it. She tells a great story. I noticed a boy coming through the back door of the stand. He was very popular with the girls in town. I knew that much. He saw me standing there and headed right toward me with a determined grin on his handsome face. I ran like a scared deer into the women's dressing room to hide. I was just a kid, and he was a grown-up. He had graduated that year. He found out my name from a friend and walked right into the dressing room calling it. I was seriously mortified and had pulled my feet up off the floor onto the bench where I sat. He looked into every stall until he found me. Looking over the top of the stall, he smiled at me and asked me why I ran from him. I was mortified, man. I had no idea what to say to him. Besides, I was going steady with somebody else. I was allowed to date at an early age. I was as innocent in every way, though, and this boy overwhelmed me because he was so handsome, with his brilliant white toothed smile and so determined to get to know me better. He would not leave me alone after that. A year later, we had a beautiful daughter. I had just turned 15. 2 years later, we had another daughter, and soon after, we divorced. I married again. That marriage only lasted 2 years. Out of it, though, I had another beautiful daughter. I and my girls had to live with my parents then. So many people have been there. That was a very rough period in time. I had made bad choices, and these were my consequences. Because I was under their roof, I had to follow their rules, even though I was 19 now and had been married twice. But I had no choice. I was stuck. I had 3 children with no education, no car, no job, and no home for us. I felt like such a failure. I was a failure, except for my beautiful daughters, whom I loved more than words could say. My parents went on vacation and asked me to water their garden while they were gone. I didn't do a very good job, I guess because I was laid into. I was called some pretty awful names and told what an awful mother I was. Later that night, when I lay in bed, I just sobbed. I thought, they're right. I am useless. I'm not fit to be a mother. I was everything that was hollered at me. My girls deserved much better. I then did something stupid and ended up in the hospital for 3 days. It was obvious I needed therapy and was assigned a counselor, a man that changed my life so much for the better. I will forever be indebted to him. He was able to find a home that I was able to buy. My girls and I got to watch it being built. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a 2-car garage on a big lot with a huge backyard. I bought an old clunker Ford car that took me to and from work at the cafe. From there, I earned my GED, went on to college for many courses. I studied at Anthony's School of Real Estate and became a realtor. I raised my children in that wonderful home. I even wrote a book. Now, I'm not bragging. I'm just pointing out that there really is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't give up, thank God he wouldn't let me. The end. So, again, you can send me your truth, whatever it is, and it can be very therapeutic to get it off your chest. I know this because I have a master's degree in human behavior, but I know it more so because I'm 60 years old now, and I know from experience, the more you speak about something that's traumatized you, the better it gets, the easier it gets. So, folks, if there is no shame, and if somebody's shaming you for getting help, shame on them. They're the ones that need help, seriously, because everybody needs somebody to talk to. If you don't have, that's why people go to confession. That's why there's been priests. It's really good for the soul. Or they have pastors or whichever. Or best friend, your besties, people. Somebody you can confide into that's not going to hurt you in the end, though. That's where counseling comes in really well because they're not allowed to tell. Okay, what are you supposed to do? Hit that subscribe button. That keeps these stories going around and around and around and around. And I genuinely hope that I hear from you. All right? So what do? You write into mezalgal, mezalgal, @gmail.com. That's because I live in Maine now. The abbreviation for Maine is ME. And I'm from California, CAL. And I'm a gal. That's how I identify, @gmail.com. All right, folks. Until the next time.